It is always recommended to not use the same function name as a built-in function. So there are two things, function declaration and then function call. Functions in Python serves two main purposes. First, it allows reusing a block of code, the code logic that can be reused repeatedly within the program. Second, it reduces the number of lines of code, therefore making it more readable, more compact. Let us understand this with an example. Say we have 1000 lines of code and we need to compute the performance of a machine learning model, right? And in this computation of performance, you require 4 lines of code. Now, you have 100 models in your entire program. So, your program is about 1000 lines and you have 100 models in the entire program. So, would you write the same performance computation logic repeatedly for 100 models? Well, you could definitely do so, but that is not a very good programming practice. This is where functions allow you to separate the code logic from the main program, and you can use the function repeatedly for each of the 100 models. Therefore, making your program more compact, more readable, at the same time reducing the number of lines of code. Now we understand the capability of functions in Python. There are two types of functions. First are the built-in functions and second are the user-defined functions. We have already been using several built-in functions in Python such as the print function, right? For example here, the format function. These are the built-in functions which are already present or already available within the capabilities of the Python program. They have been implemented under various libraries. It is always recommended to not use the same function name as a built-in function. Say for example here, we already have a built-in function called print, and if we try to implement our own user-defined function which is named print, we are going to mess up in the programming logic. Unless that is a specific requirement, it is recommended not to do so. Okay, so let me comment this out so that we do not mess up, right? Now let us see an example of a function. So here this is the example of function declaration. So there are two things, function declaration and then function call. So in function declaration, you are writing the programming logic for that function for the first time. It starts with the keyword def followed by the name of the function. Here name of the function is square, and within the simple bracket you specify the parameters for your function. There can be any number of parameters, and then you write the logic with a return statement. An additional note of value here, you may or may not return anything from your function. If you do not want to return any value from a function, you can simply return none, or you can ignore the return statement, right? So you can directly write def square print x into x. Then in that manner, you would not need to write the return statement. Okay, so we understand the function declaration now. Let us see few more examples of the function and execute them. So this is the same function that we taken here as an example. We shall now call this function. You see, function call is like the name of the function, and within parentheses we provide the corresponding arguments. Also note, the name of the function parameter and the variable name used for the function call may or may not be same. It is absolutely not required to give the same name. Okay, let me quickly execute this function. So let us quickly execute it. For execution, we will write Python and give the file name. So see, we are printing the square of these three values that we passed here. Square A is 4, so value we get is 16. Similarly for A it's 64 and 3, 9. So this is how you declare a function and then call it. The next thing we need to understand are the differences between the arguments and parameters. So the variable names that you specify in the function declaration when writing the logic or the function, those variables are known as the parameters of your function, whereas the actual values or the actual variables that you pass to the function call are known as arguments, right? So you know what are parameters, what are arguments. Parameters are passed during function definition, arguments are passed during function call. This comes in interviews as well, so always keep a note of this. The next that we are going to understand is default and non-default parameters. So say for example, you want to specify a parameter which, if not passed during function call, assumes a default value. Say for example, here we have two parameters a1 and b1, and for b1 I have specified the default value of 10. So if during the function call I do not pass the value of b, value of the second parameter, then by default it will take the value 10 and compute the result. Let me show the execution here. I will comment this out, save this and execute. So you see 10 is greater than 4. Even though we did not specify the value of the second parameter here, it takes the default value of 10. One point to note here is the default parameters must always be followed by non-default parameters. So if you change the order of this, say you give b1 comma b1 equal to 10 and then the non-default parameter a1, this is going to give you an error. For example, if you just hover over here, Visual Studio wants you that non-default argument follows default argument, which is an error. Let me execute this and show you. So when we execute, you see we get the syntax error, non-default argument follows default argument. So always the ordering of the default argument should be after the non-default argument. Okay. Additionally, if you want to specify the value of the default parameter by specifying the name of the variable, you can do so. For example, b1 equal to 40. Okay. So you see what will happen here. You see 40 is greater than 4. So b1 now assumes the value of 40. So this is the capability of using default parameters in Python. Now that we understand how to write and use functions in Python, we need to understand one important capability of functions in Python. Python allows you to pass the functions themselves as arguments to another function. Here we have created a function hypotenuse. We already had created another function named square. We are passing this square function as an argument to our hypotenuse function. So internally it will compute the square function and then produce the square root over the sum, returning the value of the hypotenuse. So if you execute this, you will get the corresponding value for the hypotenuse. Let me execute and show you. So you see the value of 8.944 is the value for our hypotenuse. So this is a hypothetical triangle. This value does not correspond to an actual triangle. The other capability here is you can also assign your function to a variable and call this variable by passing the corresponding arguments. So here you see the square of 2 is computed as 4. So hope you learned something new. See you in the next lecture. Have a nice day, and if you like the content, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share with your friends. See you in the next video. Have a nice day. Have a smooth learning experience. Bye bye. Jai Hind.